Morning, everybody. Hello there. So today's video is answering Claire's brilliant question about what can she eat to help with feelings of low energy, headaches, muscle cramps that she gets before her period. So we're looking at classic PMT symptoms here. So we're going to look at some of the nutrients that you need to help manage this and the foods that you find them in. This is something that I know personally very well because I had terrible PMT for years and it is a lot better now thanks to changing my diet and doing lots of things to help with hormone balancing. So I can safely say this stuff works and I am living proof of it. And if you ask people I live with, they'll probably tell you the same as well. So about 7 to 10 days before our period begins, we're getting this decline in progesterone and estrogen levels. And then when it hits this certain low point, that triggers our period. Once we get into our late 30s and 40s, and we're heading into what's called the perimenopause phase, which is the lead up to the menopause. And this lead up can last for 5, 10 years. It's kind of open ended and very much individual. We're more likely to get what's called anovulatory cycles. So a cycle where you don't release an egg, so you don't ovulate. And this, of course, means that we don't produce enough progesterone. So you're getting this relatively high level of estrogen, and that can add into the PMT symptoms as well. So if things are starting to change for you once you're in your 40s, this may be part of the issue, so that you're having some of these anovulatory cycles. You can't necessarily tell when they're happening. You still have your period. Sometimes your cycle may be a little bit shorter because you've not got that progesterone, which is extending the second phase of the cycle. But sometimes there's just no clue whatsoever at all. So if your symptoms are starting to change, this can be a sign that you're moving into perimenopause if you're in your 40s. So what can we eat to help with these things? Well, one of the first ones to look at, and one of the biggies for PMT, is vitamin B6. This has had quite a lot of research done behind it, and I'll pop a link in the comments below to a recent article, which is in the British Medical Journal. It's an easy read, and that was looking at lots of studies that have looked at B6 and PMT symptoms, and they concluded that it is very good for overall PMT symptoms, and also particularly if you're getting the low mood and depressive kind of symptoms. It's a vitamin that's involved very much in energy production, mood balance. It works as a teammate to magnesium, which we'll talk about in a minute. So it's a really good one to make sure that you're getting plenty of in your diet. I am only going to talk about food sources of these nutrients today. Can't really go into specifics of supplements because that's very much an individual thing. So one level for one person isn't going to be right for everyone else. So we'll just stick to talking about foods. I am going to do a live in a few weeks' time talking about different supplements and quality factors and things like that. So we might cover it a bit more then. So where can we find our B6? You find it a lot in things like poultry, so chicken, tuna, also in fish like tuna, turkey I meant. Tuna's not poultry, is it? Chicken and turkey. And we've got tuna, salmon, lentils, you get it in beef liver. Though I have to say, nothing will induce me to eat liver. I cannot stand it. If you're a bit like me and you want to try some, I did hear a great tip from somebody, which was that she freezes a little bit of liver and then she grates it into things like a meat sauce or a vegetable sauce. So she's getting a little bit of liver without having to actually sit and eat it. And I was like, that could work, that could work. Nuts, avocados, bananas, brown rice, carrots, they're all good sources of B6 as well. So our teammate to B6 is magnesium, and this is particularly relevant if you're getting the muscle cramps and the headaches. Magnesium is needed for all the smooth muscles in your body to relax properly. So when you're getting over contraction of muscle and a lot of muscle tightness, cramping, can be a sign that you need a bit more magnesium there. Also needed for energy levels as well. It's a bit like the spark plug in the engine of a car, so it gives you that energy spark in all the cells in your body. And we find magnesium in the green veg, so anything that's dark green. Magnesium is part of chlorophyll, which is your molecule that makes things green. So we've got kale, we've got broccoli, peas, anything that's green like that, you're going to get some magnesium in there. Cashew nuts, almonds, seeds, buckwheat, beans, they're all good sources as well. So trying to include at least 2 servings of something nice and green every day, particularly in that pre-menstrual time, can be helpful. Other ways that you can get magnesium is via your skin, because it is absorbed quite well through the skin. So using a magnesium spray can be helpful. If you've got a particular muscle that cramps up, so some people get leg cramps, for example, so using the magnesium spray on your leg, it's going to be absorbed transdermally, getting right into that muscle that's been problematic. Epsom salt baths are another way as well. Lovely relaxing bath. That's what you want when you're feeling a bit PMT. Light some candles, shut the family away, and just relax in an Epsom salt bath. That can be a good way too. So going back to energy levels, things to bear in mind would be iron. Obviously we need this for oxygenation of the blood and all that cells to work properly. Particularly important if you're getting heavier periods now, if that's changed as well. So we've got obviously our iron from meat, animal sources, which is the very well absorbed form of iron, it has to be said. So even if you're not keen on meat and you're just having a little bit in the lead up to your period, that can help support your iron levels. And then your vegetarian sources like lentils, green veg, dried apricots, blackstrap molasses, that's quite a good one. Some people put a spoonful of the molasses in hot water and have it as a drink. That can give you a bit of iron as well. We need some vitamin C to help the iron work, to help it be absorbed. So good things there would be combining maybe some slow cooked red meat alongside some broccoli, some watercress and parsley, so you're getting the vitamin C from the vegetables to help you absorb the iron from the meat. Peppers, berries, kiwi, also good sources as well. A lot of these foods that I've just been talking about, they also contain other B vitamins like B1, B2 and B3. We need those for energy as well and our hormone balance. So things like the veggies that we've been talking about, poultry, fish, nuts and seeds, you will be getting other B vitamins in there as well. So that's our top tips for foods to include. If you can include them all month round, that's great because you're going to get better hormone balance. But if you particularly focus on them in that 10 days or so before the period, that can start to make a difference. You need to give it a good few months. So whenever you're making nutritional changes to help with periods, about 2 to 3 cycles before it's going to start showing. Keeping up with hydration levels as well, because that's going to help the flow of nutrients around the body, how they get into the cells, help your cells get rid of waste products, but also with muscle cramps, sometimes that's due to low hydration levels as well. So we've got our B6, our magnesium, our iron with the vitamin C. Those are the main ones to focus on. So I hope that's been helpful. Please do keep asking questions in the group. I love it when you ask questions. It gives me things to talk about. I've got plenty to talk about anyway, but I like to know what you guys want to know. So we'll be back soon with the next live. Thank you.